This Chuck used to do this with me and Greg, and Brian, and people all the time.
Triggers there.
So here, just take my stick away. No, I don't want to do that anymore, Chuck. Remember that? Kind of tired. What y'all find? What's feedback? What did you find? What kind of lessons you get with it? What's it feel like? Useful, not useful, interesting?
Very fun. Very nice. Very
And
fun.
that Danny's principle, wherever, like when he grabs the fist,
Yeah.
whenever someone punches,
Mm-hmm.
I feel like when I grab the end of the Joe staff, whenever I'm being moved, I have control to adjust to it a lot easier. If I'm trying to fight in the middle, you can just turn it on me, and all of a sudden
rotates, right?
that I can move in, and then when the opportunity arises, then I can take control of the staff versus being in the middle.
Cool.
No matter which end of the stick, you're in control of that end of the stick.
Mm-hmm.
He controls one end. I can't control the middle,
Right.
and I can't control this. I got all the work. I control this one every place I want.
All the places you like.
Flex over there.
And then he has to do something with it. He has to be accountable. That's the thing, we don't understand the accountability. And it can be weird stuff. He can be pushing this thing, and it can be sliding in my hands. And that's one that I kind of came across by accident. But I just let it go. And it becomes a shorter stick by the time he gets there. And it just going. And that change is weird by itself, isn't it? Because you're ready for this, boom, you're ready for solid structure, yeah. But as you get there, it changes to that. And now this whole, yeah, we'll go back after this link if you like.
It's cool when that stuff happens. It's
Just spontaneous, exactly. I had no idea about this, but I think it's from the Dojo probably, because we do a lot of the stick sliding, like you're driving or you're pulling and pushing, boom. Like that over like that. It's cool, fun, fun. That's fun, because wherever your hand winds up becomes the end of the stick. This used to be the end of the stick, but it slides up to here now. This is the end of the stick. So it can be relative to wherever you wind up on it.
So you need your body for leverage.
Yeah, and we really haven't done any of the two-handed stuff. I mean, in the kata, look at san kata, for instance, in the san kata. I'm attacking him, and he comes to stop it. Bam! And I just throw him out into space. So this is when we have triangulation. We've actually got a sense of solid center behind it. We've just been doing sort of keeping center floating behind it. But when you put a solid center into it, in other words, you triangulate with 2 points of contact in your center, then man, when you turn your center in one way or another, you're going to go over here, go over here, up, yeah. All that becomes magnified through that length of the stick too. And you can't afford to get very lateral with it, but the penetration you have in that long dimension becomes even more nasty. As long as you don't lock down with your hands too. People that try to do it and get, they tend to blow it. So you still want that sort of dancey feel, but when you get a second hand on it, boom, 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 boom. You can just, like you got a giant scribble marker and you're just scribbling on a big chalkboard out there. And you're scribbling by moving your belly button. And everything that happens on your end, just like you said, I love that. They have to deal with the effect on that end. You got a giant lever making it worse. You can do damn near random things. Like, I'm going to write my name. He wants to be N, C, K.
You spelled your name.
N, C. And it's just random. You know, it's just a bunch of random movement, really. But I'm trying to do it with my knees and my center. And just write this random thing through space. He engages with that random damn long lever. And it's a weird ride. It's a bunch of movement he can't predict. The chaotic quality of the movement is overwhelming. So even just hitting him with a long series of random events like that can be really useful. What'd you guys find?
What we were doing over here too was
Oh, yeah?
What we were also doing was, not being too committed.
Oh, yeah, yeah,
To
you
any
can
one
kind of
hold.
rondori with it some.
So, because that was I'm too long holding this one spot. By the time you get to it's already starting to happen to the coat of wash.
Right.
So I'm just gonna hold it for a little while, and I'm gonna pass it on to another stick. Pass it
Yeah.
on, pass it on. pass
Hand
it on,
changes
pass it
become
on.
huge, exactly.
Real
Byron was
big,
doing that with
real
me as
big
well.
things.
Yeah.
One hand only at a time. Don't get two hands on, because now we're gonna get, and both your hands are gonna be.
Things get locked when you're locked in.
So I keep one hand on only at a time. But I've always got one hand on. Never two hands on hardly, unless I'm terminating something, coming in.
Yeah, you're gonna
Right
be
here,
done
terminating
with
it.
it. Yeah, sure.
But, otherwise you're gonna get caught.
Pretty much, pretty much. The locking down function is what this is destroying right now. So exactly. The more they give you a definitive signal, the easier it becomes. The more they dance around out there and just float and toss it between their own hands, the more it equalizes the whole equation. Exactly.
Well, that following is also a big deal in this. When you do the releases, I can cheat because I'm bigger. I just like, oh, you're not going there. I'll get you there. I can't do that with this.
No,
this
with the lever, your cheating goes away then.
Yeah, now I have to really actually get them moving to
Right.
follow it, or it's not going to work.
Sweet, sweet. Well, it's really useful too.
I thought there was a lot of good feedback with Dojo itself as well.
Mm-hmm.
Principle, driving the center, not the arm.
Well, and did you guys get into any of this stuff? I don't know. Where he begins to ploy on it, and as he ploys on it, we get into, I don't know, just keep moving. Just do what we're doing. There you go. Good. Good. This sort of thing, where the stick is actually encountering the center line, either behind his shoulder, this is very common, or cutting across the neck, this sort of here. This is wonderful. Where you start getting levers and hooks on it there. Some of that come up for you?
With the turning, yes.
Yeah. I also like when it went like this. It would get your vertical dimension. Where the verticality would come into it, and you would do projection. Like
Does
that
that
as well.
work with your water technique since it's vertical?
I don't know. I hadn't thought about it. Maybe.